say to the people of Buckinghamshire that Wiltshire Council did it back in 2009. We've been able to save over £100 million, which is recurring year-on-year savings, that we've been able to make our service delivery much more efficient, we've been able to protect local services, and that we now are much simpler for people to do business with. And I'm talking about people like the ordinary residents, but also people like businesses, our key stakeholders of health, police, fire and rescue. All those people just have to deal with one council, so it is much simpler for them to do business. We were very conscious of this. It was everything was going to happen in Trowbridge, which is our county town. And so we set up what we call community areas. There are 18 of them, and they have executive powers through me and the Cabinet to do business within the policy and within the finances of the council of that area. And so they have meetings every 2 months. They talk about the things that are important in that area, not necessarily the whole county, but in that area, and they can make decisions for that area, and they can change decisions that might have been made in the centre. I'll give you an example. In Malmesbury, they had flooding, but at the same time the local library was due to be decorated with new carpets. They said no, that money is not important there, but it's certainly important as far as flood alleviation is concerned. So they have the powers to do that. That to me is local democracy at the best level. To be able to access your council very locally, to be able to talk about things that are happening in your council very locally, much more local than the districts, has been a huge plus for us in Wiltshire, and people feel much more connected now to the council. So I think Buckinghamshire is going exactly the right way by being a large, strategic, efficient, effective organisation, but also working much more locally with the people it represents. Many people have come to me and said, we didn't agree with it, but actually you were right, it works very well. In Wiltshire, you've got to remember that 30% of the people thought there was only one council in the first place. This is not about organisations, councillors, officers. This is about services to the people that you represent. Well, it was quite interesting actually. Soon after we went, I had a knock on my office door, and it was somebody from Safeguarding Children, and she said, "Thank you for going unitary." And I said, "Why, Sarah? It obviously doesn't affect safeguarding." And she said, "Oh yes, it does, because we were having to work with 4 different organisations as well as the county council on safeguarding. Now my teams are released from doing that work and working with one organisation." I hadn't even thought about that, and how many more of those services and how much more resources happening across all of our councils. I think they find it simpler for a start. They know exactly which council at strategic level to go to. It's made it much easier for us to devolve services and assets to them. So a lot of our assets, over 120 local assets, have gone down to them. Many packages of services have gone down to them with money. So what we try and do is package up those services. So some of them will cost them, but some of them will bring them in the income. And particularly the town councils are willing and very able to take those local services. As a strategic authority, I'm not sure I want to run play areas or large town parks and things like that. That's for local people to do and local councils to run, not strategic council like Wiltshire.